Hey, my name is Rafael and you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today we're going to talk about my favorite band, Black Sabbath. Well, when Black Sabbath started back in 1968 and they finally had the chance to release their debut album in 1970, they really changed the world. They created heavy metal. They talked about the devil, about death, about war in their songs, and it was really, really heavy, like something no one else had heard before. And that's why they are one of the most important bands of all time. And today we're going to talk about another side of the band, not the songs, but the history of the band, which has many supernatural stories told by Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, and Ozzy Osbourne. But first, don't forget please to hit the like button, subscribe, leave your comment, and if you don't want to watch the video, you can go to the description and read the entire article about what we're going to talk about here, okay? Well, I think that a good way to start is going back to the band's self-titled debut album and self-titled song, Black Sabbath. Well, when people heard those bells and those thunders in the beginning of the song, it was really scary. And obviously that incredible guitar riff, and the song is slow and it builds and it builds and it becomes this massive thing. And obviously it talks about a big black shape at the bed staring at you, and it's the devil, and suddenly you're in hell and he's gonna take you. And that song wasn't from their imagination. Well, at least according to Geezer Butler, who was Black Sabbath's main lyricist and bassist, he actually saw that big black shape staring at him one night, and it all happened after at the time Geezer was really into the occult. He painted his apartment all in black. He took some crosses and put them inverted and upside down in his apartment. And Ozzy, who at the time knew he was really into that, gave him a black magic book written in Latin. And that night, Geezer took that book to his apartment. And during the night, he woke up from a terrible nightmare, and there was this big black shape staring at him. And he obviously was terrified by that, and he, after a few moments, the black shape was gone, and he then rushed to get the book and throw the book away. He wanted, but he couldn't find it. The book had just simply vanished, and that was the main inspiration for the track, which it was their first song, and it became this real classic and really shaped what the band would become, the kind of music they would do. And the interesting thing is that back then, back in the 90s, when they reunited and a movie about their reunion was released, the members of the band gave some really interesting interviews recalling that. And the first one was Tony Iommi, who said, and I'm going to read here, you're going to see here too what he said. He said, within the band, we've always believed there was a fifth member, a mystical member. We always said there was something looking over us. And he continued, when we first wrote this kind of music, we didn't know what we were doing. We said, God, we like this. It's strange, but we like it. Because we went from playing blues to suddenly written Wicked World and Black Sabbath. And Black Sabbath is quite an unusual song. And in the same interview, the drummer Bill Ward said a really interesting thing about it. he said, the only way I can describe that was that when we were playing our first songs together, especially our 3 first albums, you see, not the only, it wasn't just the first one, but the first 3. For instance, we would literally show up in a room and it was almost as if the songs were already rhythm. I mean, my hair goes up, reading this, because and he continued, that's why I like to call Black Sabbath a phenomenon. Although it's a rock and roll band, there is a phenomenon involved there. That stuff just comes from somewhere, and we happen to be the ones that it came to. I mean, I don't know what you believe in life, if you believe in the supernatural, if you believe in the devil, or anything, but man, it's really interesting, to hear the music, to know the impact that music caused in the world and in music, in people's lives, and to read and to see Iommi and Bill saying that, it's just incredible. And Iommi also said that in an interview with Mojo magazine in 2020, that you're also going to see it here. He said, we always felt within the band there was a 5th member. It sounds ridiculous now, but we always felt that there was somebody overlooking us and guiding us. We felt this presence when we were all together. It was one of those things we'd referred to as being the overself, or the 5th member looking out for us. We were so close as a band. We lived in each other's pockets from the start. That we became as one. The 5th member seemed to be very real, and there to us. And he said, things seemed to happen to us that were quite weird. We'd be in the van, for example, and one of us would look out of the window and go, oh, look, there's a fishing shop over there. And just as we said that, the lights would go out in the shop. There was just always strange things happening to us back then. And obviously, the theme, the band talked about the devil and about everything, the war, death, and all kinds of things, dark things. And obviously that attracted people who were into that and were part of cults and everything. And the band members always said, Geezer Butler said that he, after that experience, he never tried anything. He was done with the occult after that terrible experience he had with the big black shape. And they were really scared after they become successful, and those kind of people were appearing at the shows. I mean, there were people lighting candles and chanting outside their hotel all the time during their tour, and there were people inviting them to be part of black masses and to go to these kind of cults and everything, and they got scared about that. And the interesting thing is that Ozzy's father made them 4 crosses, and you can see them wearing those crosses, especially Iommi and Ozzy use those crosses until nowadays. And he made 1 cross to each member of the group, so it would serve as a kind of protection to them against everything that was bad, although they were writing about the devil and everything else. And it's another interesting thing about the band. And another interesting thing that you might know or not know is that besides the lyrics in Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath, besides those lyrics, by the end of the song, when the song gets bigger and gets faster, that riff that really breaks the time, and that break that dum da 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 dum da 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 dum da da dum. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to illustrate for you which one is it. But that riff, Tony Iommi said that he wasn't aware of. He came up with that, and he didn't know that it was actually banned during medieval times, because it was, I'm going to read to you what exactly means. It's an interval called the tritone, which is often called diabolus in music, because those notes were prohibited in medieval music, and according to the mythology at the time, the interval was considered sexual and it would summon the devil. I mean, it's really crazy that the first Black Sabbath song had all these things in it. I mean, these really interesting things going on. So it's really a thing that gets us thinking. I mean, is there something else behind it? There is really a big black shape guiding the band or not? And leave your comment, tell me what you think. And another really interesting thing is that it's another really crazy thing that Bill Ward said in an interview with Metal Hammer in 2021 that you're also going to read here. He said that all the band members used to dream about the same thing, have the same dream at night. And this is what he said. When we finished Black Sabbath rehearsals at the Aston Community Center, I had feelings inside telling me a few things. We were different, and it didn't matter if we became famous. I knew what we've made would cause a few problems, but also earn us great affection. I'm so fucking proud of that. Black Sabbath were so tight, we would have the same dreams. It happens when you're in a room transferring things to each other musically all day. So we would end up having a similar dreams. One of the dreams we had was being visited by a priest or a specter. I just saw that as a guardian angel. I love ghosts. I'm a ghost person and have been most of my life. That's what the drummer Bill Ward said. I mean, call that an interesting story. And I'm also going to leave here in the description another article we wrote about a story that Tony Iommi said that he wasn't involved in a car accident when he was younger, and he saw angels. That was before Black Sabbath. He saw angels rescuing him. He hit a tree with the car, and that's another really interesting story that you can go to the description and read. And, you know, there are so many other stories involving Black Sabbath. I mean, when they were recording Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, they went to a castle in United Kingdom. They rented the Clearwell Castle, located in the Forest of Dean in England, where other famous bands also recorded. Led Zeppelin, Mott the Hoople, Deep Purple had already been there before. And they saw ghosts there too. You know, they believed that the castle was haunted. And, well, that's just one of the few stories I wanted to share about this evil presence, or a guardian angel, or a spiritual guide. You know, you're gonna tell me what you think it was. Please leave in the comment below. But these are really interesting stories about Black Sabbath. They're my favorite band. They're just, I believe they're really underrated until now, because I think they're one of the greatest bands of all time, and they deserved really much more public and really much more recognition. And, well, that's it. I hope you liked the video. I hope you now know a little bit more of these supernatural stories involving Black Sabbath. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave the comment, and obviously visit rockandrollgarage.com. See you next time.